Hi everyone, today is August 8th, 2025, a special day for myself. If you don't know me already, my name's Brian, and the reason why it's special is because today is the 1 year anniversary since I had my brain surgery. So, exactly 1 year ago today was when I had an awake craniotomy to remove a low grade tumor that was around this size, the size of a grape, found inside my brain. And now to this day, it's a great day to reminisce on the whole journey and to reflect on what a great, successful operation it has been, although filled with tons of ups and downs throughout the whole journey. Nowadays, when I meet someone new and I tell them that I did have a craniotomy, they're pretty shocked to hear that because here my hair is all grown back, but that's the initial start of the scar. Goes all the way around the brain down to this side here. So it's really surprising when new people find out about this whole journey. But just to give a brief summary about the whole progress, in 2023 is when the tumor was first discovered. The reason was because I had a seizure in public, and I was sent to the hospital nearby for them to figure out what the cause of the seizure was. Eventually, it was discovered that I had a brain tumor, which was really unfortunate news to hear about, especially at the time, because when I first heard tumor and brain, I thought that was it for my whole life. Once I heard those words, I thought I have had cancer. Out of all these unlucky scenarios, though, my case seemed to be one of the luckiest ones because it was found to be a benign tumor, so it was not considered cancerous. Despite all that, I needed to go through with the surgery anyways because I was having too many seizures, and the medicine, the specific one I took is called Keppra, was not helping much. And by that time, there were too many side effects. I was becoming too tired. My mental ability, my cognitive ability, my overall health has been declining, and so we realized it's best to go through with an operation to remove the tumor. So after removing the tumor, most likely I'd be able to not have any seizures. So this also means it's officially been slightly over a year now since I've last had a seizure. I've been able to drive again for the first time in about 2 years now, returned to normal life, returned back to Waterloo as a student here, finishing up my final term. It's actually just 3 days away from probably my final ever undergraduate final exam. So it's been quite the journey overall, filled with a lot of highs and lows leading up to now. And at the end of the day, the recovery has been really amazing. The speed of recovery, being able to find my cognitive ability back, and yeah, it's just quite the journey to look back on and reminisce on. To dive into a few more details that I feel like could be pretty interesting to learn about is what was the biggest side effect post-operation? That would be word finding. Brief summary on this is the tumor was located in my left temporal lobe, and so what that part of the brain controls is particularly memory, more specifically word finding. And so finding words has always been a challenge since the whole procedure, but now that it's been a year, it's recovered much better than it has been a week after the surgery. At the time, I was super weak with a lot of critical thinking abilities gone. Like, for example, I could barely do 2 + 2 = 4. I could barely think of a word for what a mile was, like a kilometer at a mile. I could barely think of all of these. So since then, having seen a speech therapist, having basically relearned elementary grade English, I've recovered to the point where it's not even noticeable. Although I still sometimes see some side effects, but it's just a great journey nonetheless. So also to finalize, in order to leave a message for anyone else who's going through something similar, which there are a few people who I actually speak to about to do their operation, and quite a few others who have done an operation too. The whole journey itself is something to look back on and think about how crazy of a situation it was. For my case, it was one of the luckiest cases of all the unlucky cases. So I started looking into philosophy and psychology a lot. So as to why I would ask myself why I was the one who was diagnosed with this situation. Out of all the people on earth, why was I the one given this brain tumor? Yet despite that, I'd also ask myself, why was my case not a malignant tumor? So I'd ask myself, why did I have to do brain surgery, but why was I still alive anyways? And so I think that was pretty big for me going through the whole process. As there must be some sort of, it's not really a way to describe why I was the one who had to face this challenge, but it got me to really appreciate life more now that I've faced this pretty near-death experience. I think at the end of the day, it's the best message for those who are going through something similar is to try to look on the bright side of anything that you have, because there's always going to be unlucky cases, and unfortunately, if you were the one with that unlucky case, it's kind of out of your control as to why. Like, there's no way for you to control your own brain tumor, really. But through all those unlucky cases, yours is always still better than other people who could be in even worse situations than yourself. So at the end of the day, there's really no one else to compare to. You just have to take care of yourself, manage your own everyday life, and feel appreciative and feel grateful for everything that you have the ability to do. And so in conclusion, I'll probably keep doing these recap videos, hopefully, if my situation is still to cover my situation every year. On August 8th, I'll be celebrating this day on and on. And right now it's the afternoon, but in the evening looking to get a cake out to celebrate here, and gonna enjoy the last little bit for today, and then for the next 2 days gonna need to study for the final exam. But after that, just appreciate this whole journey and look back on it as a very crazy experience, but it was quite the journey to go through, and it was just the way of life for myself.